Hey guys, so today I'm going to be doing a little quick question and answer video. I asked on Instagram if anybody had any questions, hair related or otherwise, just because I haven't been, filming regularly like I used to. And if that looks, it's because I scratched myself. That's what that mark is. I just noticed. Look at my bun too. I don't know how, but somehow I just did this and I think it looks really cute. So that's why I was like doing that at the beginning. But anyways, so I got a couple questions, and then I'm also gonna add in one question that I got asked way back in November when I was gonna do this video, but I just I had no motivation and I didn't end up doing it. So sorry to everyone who asked questions, because I know I had some really good ones, but I'm gonna answer one particular question that was asked back then, along with these that I got on Instagram. And I said hair related or otherwise. So let's just go ahead and answer the questions. So the first question is, all it says is just, how are you doing? I hope you have a good day. And I'm doing very well, thank you. And so far I am having a good day. The next question is, what is the shortest you've ever had your hair in, aside from when I was born, obviously? Probably when I would have my mom cut it around here. When I was younger, I would get bored and she'd be like, "Do you want me to cut it?" And I was like, "Yeah, cut it." So she would cut it to here, and I haven't had any shorter than that. I've never wanted to have a super short cut or anything like that. It's just the shortest I've ever really had it was about shoulder length. Next question is, what are your hair goals now? And if you didn't watch my last update, I'm going to link it below. For anyone who hasn't watched it, that answers a lot of the questions about why I ended up cutting my hair and all of that. But pretty much at this point, my hair goals, they're kind of the same as they've always been. I really want long hair, but I only want it to be long if it looks good. Genetically, I just don't have as much hair as I would like, and it doesn't stay as thick as I would like, so I'm still gonna try to grow it out. I would really like to be able to get to at least belly button length and have or waist length even, and just continue trimming it back to that length until I maybe have thick enough hair that I actually like it at that length, because I just don't think I'm gonna end up being able to get it all the way to tailbone or anything and still like it, because it's just gonna be too thin for my liking by then. But I am gonna try. It's not that I'm not trying, but at this point I think I'm just gonna aim for nice thick waist length. So we'll see. It should be at waist length by this time next year, but we'll see if I can get it at waist length looking the way I wanted to, maybe within 2 or 3 years. Next question is, do you plan to cut out the henna? If you don't know, I have henna on most of my hair. This right here is my roots, it's growing in, but the rest is kind of a coppery color at this point. Do you plan to cut it out or just grow it out pretty much? And I'm just gonna grow it out. I'm gonna get trims whenever I feel like I need trims, but not just to get rid of the henna, just to thicken it up. So I really don't mind it. It kind of blends pretty well with my natural color. Obviously there is a difference, but it's not a huge line like platinum blonde and black or anything, so it's not really a big deal to me. I don't really plan to mess with it like that. I'm not gonna shave my head or anything just to get rid of it. Next is, where do you see yourself in 5 years? This one is kind of hard to answer because it's really hard to predict what's going to happen in the future. However, I'm just gonna this better have happened within 5 years. Hopefully I'll be making more money than I am. I don't know how I'm gonna do that. I'm still at my same job that I've been at pretty much forever. It's really hard for me to make big changes. I just have a lot of anxiety with things like that. But one way or another, I want to do something with my life and be able to support my kids and actually get things that I want. So I hope I'm more financially stable basically in 5 years, and possibly one of these. Okay, so next question is, how have you been lately? Have you been more happy? Have you been like settled more or less? So if you don't know this, I'll also link the video below where I talk more about it, but I ended a 6.5-year relationship with my kid's dad back in October. And for a while, it was a weird kind of adjusting period to go from just like having another adult in the house, you know, like just like having a roommate basically, to just being by yourself with your kids. And honestly, I actually really like it at this point, but at first it was kind of weird. Like, it's just weird to not have anyone coming home to you at night, even though it's nicer. Like, I didn't want him to be here anymore, because I just feel so much happier to answer that question, like so much more stress-free, because I'm just a very different person than he is. And I'll just link that video below. But anyways, I feel way more settled now. It took actually a very long time. It's not that I wasn't happy. I've been happy since that day. It's just there is an adjustment period to getting used to a new normal, and it feels very off for a little while. Like, it just feels wrong and weird. And now it feels normal because I've been living by myself with the kids for like 9 months, so over 9 months. So yeah, it's good now, and I'm very happy. I think I've mentioned, I don't know if I've mentioned this or not, but I am dating somebody, so that's obviously part of it, but like a big part of it. But yeah, I'm way happier than I was this time last year, because I was extremely depressed this time last year. So much happier, and everything feels normal now. Like, living on my own feels normal, and I actually really like it. And lastly, is the question, do you have a plan for the next 12 months or so as far as hair wise? And I kind of answered that a little bit ago. Basically, I'm gonna let it grow out. I'm gonna do a wavy curly girl modified thing to my hair, which I'll be posting updates on. And I'm gonna let it grow, get it trimmed when it needs to be trimmed, and see if I can make it to about waist length by this time next year. And then once I get to that point, I'll probably get trims every 2 months or so. Just keep cutting off an inch or a half inch and see if it'll thicken up my hemline and just make it look overall thicker. And I'll probably honestly do that for like at least a year after I get to waist length, because I'm just so tired of not loving my hair and like growing it so long, but then just hating it and cutting it all off. So try not to let myself get to that point anymore. I said that was the last question, but I forgot there's one more thing that I was going to include, which is what happened with cosmetology school. Because a lot of you know I was in cosmetology school, and I was pretty excited about it because obviously I love hair. But I am no longer in cosmetology school. I quit way back in December. I had been there like 6 months, and there's just multiple reasons why. But the biggest one being I needed to go back to work to be able to afford rent and all of that for myself, since I was single and like I was only working Saturdays. Obviously I can't live off of that, so I had to go back to work. But I have a very hard time with people. Like, I'm super shy, and I just was not enjoying it. Like, I took like one actual client. I got caught off by an alarm, but I had like one client, and she wasn't rude or anything. It's just, I was just like, yeah, this isn't, I don't think I can do this. And I would have finished. I would have pushed my way through if I hadn't had to quit for financial reasons, but it wasn't really that hard for me to quit, just because I was like, this is really starting to stress me out, and it's very hard. So I am still having a hard time trying to figure out what to do with my life. I thought I'd be a lot farther career-wise by this point. You know, I'm about to be 27. I think someone actually asked that too. They may have maybe that's what they said instead of how old are you, they might have said how old are you, but my birthday is in exactly 1 month on September 9th. This video will be posted probably on the 10th or the 11th or something, but yeah. So I thought I'd be farther, but it's okay. I'm pretty much happy where I'm at. It's just I want to do more than what I'm doing right now, so that's my issue right now, but I'll get there, you know? I'll figure it out. And anyways, for the time being, I have a job. I'm working 6 days a week, and Serenity just started school this year, and my son is in daycare. So I've got all that figured out, and now I just have to figure out me. And I will figure it out eventually, but right now I'm done just going to school, because I've been going to school off and on for a million different things since I was 18. And right now I just want to stay where I'm at. I feel pressure sometimes from people, family members. They're like, oh, you sure you don't know? You can tell me what you want to do and I'll help you and all that, blah, blah. And I appreciate that, but I don't need that right now. I don't want to go to school. I don't know what I want to do, and I'm not going to go to school until I figure out, if I figure out what it is that I really want to do. Otherwise, I'll have to figure something else out, because, you know, it's very hard to explain. It's just hard to be the way I am and not know what the heck to do. But it's okay, I'll figure it out. So that is all the questions. Thank you so much. I know I always make these things end up being so long for just a few questions, but if I'd gotten more questions, I probably would have given more brief answers on some of them, but because I didn't, I figured why not answer them in more detail anyways. So as I said in my last video, I'm gonna try to post more frequently, because I did miss it, and now that my daughter's in school, my son is in daycare, I get done with work at 3, and I have like 2 hours to do whatever I want before I have to go get them. So that's awesome. It's very freeing feeling to have a little bit of time to myself for the first time in forever, and it helps me a lot with having motivation to do these videos. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your questions, and if you have any other questions I didn't answer, leave them below and I can probably answer them at the end of whatever next video I do, if you want me to answer any questions. So I will see you next time. Bye guys.